Welcome back to Bipolar Talks, your mindful space for understanding mental health, especially the lived realities of bipolar disorder. If you're new here, take a deep breath, get cozy, and listen in with presence. Today, we're exploring something incredibly important: how bipolar disorder affects sleep, energy, and thought. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might need it. Whether you live with bipolar disorder, love someone who does, or just want to learn more, your support helps us reach more people and grow a compassionate, informed community. In this episode, we take a deep dive into how bipolar disorder impacts sleep, energy, and thought patterns, three core areas that shape daily life and emotional well-being. Whether you're navigating bipolar 1 or 2 yourself, supporting a loved one, or simply want to learn more, this episode offers clear explanations, real-life insights, and tips for managing the unpredictable shifts in mood and mind. We'll explore how bipolar depression and mania affect sleep cycles, why energy levels swing from exhaustion to overdrive, what racing thoughts and slowed cognition feel like, how sleep, energy, and thought interact like dominoes, tools and strategies to track and manage symptoms mindfully. Let's begin this mindful journey. Let's talk about sleep, the invisible thread that ties together mood, memory, and stability. For people living with bipolar disorder, sleep is not just a nightly routine, it's often a battleground. In bipolar depression, sleep can feel like a trapdoor. People may sleep excessively, sometimes 12 to 14 hours a day, and still wake up feeling unrefreshed. It's not laziness. It's the brain trying to recalibrate. It's fatigue at the cellular level. Sometimes it's hypersomnia, where sleep becomes a kind of escape from emotional pain. But when mania hits, the story flips. People may go days with barely any sleep, 3 hours a night, sometimes less, and not feel tired. In fact, they may feel supercharged. This is one of the red flags that clinicians look for. The lack of sleep doesn't lead to exhaustion right away. It leads to more energy, more activity, more chaos. Here's the twist. It's not insomnia in the typical sense. The person may not want to sleep. They might feel that sleep is unnecessary. Some even describe sleep as a waste of time. There's just too much to do, too many ideas, too much world to take in. Do you see how sleep becomes both the first sign and the silent trigger? A small disruption in sleep, losing a few hours here and there, can snowball into a manic or depressive episode. That's why sleep hygiene is often at the heart of treatment plans. Sleep isn't just rest, it's medicine. Have you ever noticed how your sleep shifts when your mood shifts? Or maybe someone close to you has these patterns. Think about it. What does your sleep say about your mind? Now let's talk about energy. It's a strange paradox in bipolar disorder. How can someone feel both exhausted and hyperactive? The answer lies in the brain's chemistry and the wild ride between poles. In depressive phases, energy drops to the floor. Getting out of bed feels like moving through concrete. The body feels heavy, the brain foggy. Even brushing teeth or making a sandwich can seem like a monumental task. It's not just physical tiredness, it's an emotional shutdown. People often describe it as being underwater or disconnected from life. Then there's hypomania or mania, where the energy skyrockets. Suddenly there's a burst of motivation, ideas, and action. You might clean the whole house at 2 a.m. Start a new business on a whim. Feel like you've tapped into a secret source of cosmic fuel. The world becomes sharper, faster, more alive. But here's where it gets tricky. Energy during mania isn't always positive. It can be restless, irritable, aggressive. It's not just about being in a good mood. It's about being overclocked. Imagine your mind and body running a marathon without rest. Eventually, something gives out. In between episodes, during what's called euthymia, a relatively stable state, energy may return to a more manageable baseline. But even then, many people with bipolar disorder describe feeling a kind of tension, like they're always preparing for the next shift. What's your relationship with energy? Do you notice these unpredictable swings? Or maybe you experience more subtle shifts that are easy to miss. Either way, tuning into your body's energy levels can offer important clues. Next up, thoughts. If energy fuels the body, then thought fuels the mind. And in bipolar disorder, the pace and pattern of thoughts can change dramatically. In mania, thoughts race. They zip from topic to topic like flipping through 100 TV channels at once. People often talk rapidly, jump between ideas, or struggle to stay on one subject. It's not just hyperactivity, it's cognitive overload. The ideas may feel brilliant, poetic, even spiritual, but they can also be disorganized, fragmented, or paranoid. This is called flight of ideas. You might start a conversation about your favorite movie and end up talking about the meaning of life, time travel, and opening a nonprofit in Paris, without realizing how fast you're jumping. In severe mania, psychosis can enter the picture. Delusions, hallucinations, or grandiose beliefs that aren't grounded in reality. The person may genuinely believe they've discovered a universal truth, or have a divine mission. In depression, the opposite happens. Thoughts slow down. It's like walking through mental molasses. Words are harder to find. Decisions take longer. Concentration fades. It's not uncommon to feel mentally blank or stuck in loops of negative thoughts. And even when the mood seems okay, some people with bipolar disorder describe what's known as cognitive fog, difficulty with memory, focus, or mental clarity. This can affect work, relationships, and self-esteem long after an episode passes. Have you noticed your thoughts speeding up or slowing down during different moods? Becoming aware of these patterns can help you or your loved ones catch mood shifts earlier and seek support sooner. Here's where things get really interesting. Sleep, energy, and thought don't exist in isolation. They're deeply interconnected. Think of them like a set of dominoes. When one falls, the others usually follow. A few sleepless nights can lead to a spike in energy. That spike can trigger racing thoughts. Those thoughts might cause impulsive actions, quitting a job, starting a risky relationship, spending money impulsively, which then creates stress and worsens sleep. Or on the flip side, chronic fatigue may lead to oversleeping. That could slow down thoughts, deepen hopelessness, and feed into a depressive spiral. This is why early intervention is so crucial. Noticing when your sleep shifts, when your energy dips or soars, or when your thinking patterns change. That's the first step toward regaining control. And no, it's not about being hypervigilant or anxious all the time. It's about being mindful, gently aware, curious rather than judgmental. Can you think of a time when one small shift led to a bigger change in your mood? When a few sleepless nights spiraled into something more? Share it in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel seen. Living with bipolar disorder doesn't mean being powerless in the face of these changes. There are tools, medical, behavioral, and lifestyle-based, that can help regulate sleep, stabilize energy, and clarify thought. Here are a few. Mood tracking apps. Tools like Dailyo, eMoods, or even a good old-fashioned journal can help detect patterns over time. Medication. Mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, and sometimes antidepressants under careful monitoring can play a vital role. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or interpersonal and social rhythm therapy, IPSRT. These therapies are tailored to managing routines and understanding thought-emotion links. Sleep hygiene. Going to bed at the same time each night, avoiding screens late at night, and keeping the bedroom cool and dark can help reset circadian rhythms. Mindfulness practices. Yes, meditation, breathwork, and body scans. Not just for stress, but to stay in tune with what's happening now before it becomes overwhelming. What works for one person might not work for another. Bipolar disorder is highly individualized. But these tools give us a starting point, a way to respond instead of just react. What's in your toolbox? Drop your go-to tips or practices below. Let's wrap up. Sleep, energy, and thought, they're the heartbeat of bipolar disorder. When they sync, life can feel manageable, even joyful. When they spiral, the world can feel like it's unraveling. But with awareness, support, and care, it's possible to navigate the highs and lows and find solid ground. Thank you for joining us today on Bipolar Talks. If you found this episode helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Help us break stigma, spread knowledge, and build a community that truly understands. And remember, this YouTube video is for informational purposes only. Always consult a mental health professional for personalized support and diagnosis. Stay mindful, stay compassionate, And we'll see you next time on Bipolar Talks.